And he has a personal best of 53.36, pretty good score. That'll put him up, if he can get that here, up in the top 10 probably. He'll skate to Another Love by Tom Odell. What a solid skate for this young man.
Yes, and great. I'd love to see a local or homegrown skater skate well in front of a home audience, because you just have to assume, I do not know for Kirill KORKACS from Latvia whether or not his family are here, but you have to assume that there's more likely that there's a support here for him, and how wonderful he was able to skate cleanly, albeit not a triple-triple that he would have perhaps hoped for. But
no, I mean, certainly an area to work on and improve, but what he did lay out there, yeah, it was that he was missing the triple toe loop, but was pretty solid. Good technique, nice in the air. Lots of little details to work on, though. When we talk about that posture and the stretch free leg, I know we drilled that, but it's so true to a certain degree. Here's the double axel. You want that to have a little bit more speed, a little bit more flow across the ice, not just around the corner. There's the triple LUTs. That was nicely done. And the double toe loop. And the triple flip. This was made it look easy. Nice.
And I suppose hard perhaps for those less educated viewers who don't skate themselves. The skating skills score that Kirill will achieve is in the just in the 5 out of 10 range, and that's down to how much ice coverage there is. And you could perhaps see on the double axel that was middle of the rink, the triple flip didn't quite make it to the top, so that gives you a little indication that the amount of ice that he's covering with his strokes isn't as great as the likes of those that will be above him, and that's just to try and differentiate in terms of the components.
Yeah, and for those folks watching online, it is difficult to tell the flow and the speed on video compared to being there live, that's for sure. So we can appreciate that's a difficult thing to do, and we're relatively experienced at that because we watch thousands of skaters on the video, so you get a feeling for it.
And quite often when I hear people dismayed at a result of a skater, it's often because they don't seem to be able to grasp that concept of the run of the blade, and unless you're in the building and you have reference point for markers on the ice, you don't always sense how much more ice coverage some athletes do have, and that would be something that Kirill and the team will be working on.
Yeah, and the ice coverage has sort of two components. One is the speed, but that speed could die out. And the other is speed with flow, which means the speed doesn't die out. You carry, your position on the blade is so perfect that the ride and the glide continues effortlessly. And then those people that are pushing hard for speed but use the toe picks on an entry or an exit of the jump and lose their speed, they have to then put a lot more energy into gaining speed again. And this is exhausting. You can see that in the rink.
And somebody like Patrick Chan, the former world champion from Canada, is a great advert for those junior skaters to watch.
Yeah, he looked like he had motors on his blades because it just looked always so effortless. It just continued to glide.
Like he seemed to access and tap into an extra bit of mileage somehow without pushing.
Exactly.
So that we discussed earlier, when we think about the athletes watching for Kirill, he's now experienced the Winter Youth Olympic Games in Gangwon. He's had Junior Grand Prix experience, and so that'll be now the benchmark, and having a renewed motivation to try to tackle something like skating skills, because for an athlete like Kirill, a lot of his focus will undoubtedly be on triple axel and quads, which is more exciting than skating.
You know, you need competition within your own country to push you to be better. When and I'm not talking about Kirill or Latvia or anything like that. It's the same thing in our country. Sometimes if you've got one or two skaters that are really good, but they're not really being threatened, you don't progress as much. You don't have to fight for your position as much as you would if you've got 2 or 3 or 4 people pushing you behind. It's possible you might be off the team.
And it fuels the daily grind.
That's why those powerful countries feed themselves. Competition breeds competition. Japan, Korea, of course, as well. The United States. So, in Canada, for ice dance, for sure. And for some pairs as well. So, you need that. And in the smaller countries doing remarkably well with their top skaters. And it's, you know, it's difficult, the cultures, whether an ice rink is important to the culture.
Yeah. And often, you know, success breeds success. And in terms of Latvian skaters, if somebody were to break through and make a statement on the ISU championship level, then I'm sure that would make more national press perhaps, and then it just cultivates that increased participation, which is what essentially, you know, Latvian Federation wants, all the Federation wants. We, you know, supporting ice skating on this Junior Grand Prix, we want to support more participation for all, because it just serves to better the sport.
Absolutely. And, you know, one question is, you know, what makes a new sport in a country popular? Like in our country, football was never big, but it's huge now. Women's hockey, massive. You know, some of the sports, I see sports like handball. I'm going, okay, handball, what's handball? But we don't really have a handball on a large scale in North America, but you do here. It's a huge sport. Right? So it needs to get ingrained in the culture in a generation to take life.
And that's what we're all wishing, hoping, and praying for our sport.
Yeah, totally. And working for it.
And as Kirill awaits the scores, it's interesting to acknowledge that he has a sister who used to skate for the Latvian synchronized skating team at the World Championships. So the family affair is a recurring theme. We've seen lots of parents as coaches here, and often we're hearing of skaters that have competed today whose siblings will compete again on the Junior Grand Prix or in senior events. And for Kirill, his sister participated in a different discipline, the synchronized discipline.
Oh, there's your... He did a heart.
Oh, I missed that. Oh, look, there's they came back for more. Oh, there's double hearts.
That's a good one. You got to pay attention.
I know. Come on, Mark.
Tark. What's it? Tark? Yeah,
Tark.
Tark. Ted and Mark. Tark.
Yeah, so for those of you who are following the International Skating Union on social media, there's a question as to the Ted and Mark team name. Tark was posted with a question as to whether or not we should keep trying. We ourselves are not nominating any names for our commentary double act, but feel free to.
Double act sounds like a vaudeville act. Well, I know you can dance. That's the good news. Right? I don't really have a talent, so.
And whilst we're enjoying the
long break,
I should just acknowledge how impressive it is that Kirill combines his studies in this city in Riga with his training in another city in Jelgava. So he makes his travel from his final year of high school.
And that was a question a little earlier on about how these athletes juggle, high performance sport and high performance scholastics. It's not easy, but those people are good at both because they simply have that in them, right?
Yeah.
They push themselves.
And so often the sport will be the passion, which is easier to push. But we don't know with Kirill's family exactly, but often the parents in the family will suggest, well, you can continue your passion, your expensive passion, providing that you maintain your pursuit of your academics as well. So I'm sure
you're not referring to any bribery or anything, right?
Not that any parent has ever bribed a child.
And so what have you done as ice cream? I see a lot of ice cream posts on your Instagram with your kids, right? So I'm thinking, there's some bribery going on.
Somebody did suggest to me very early on in my parenting that parenting is just bribery and threats.
Oh my God,
I thought that was terrible. When they said that, I was like, really? That's not the case? And then sometimes I'm like, actually, no, it's a little bit. Yeah. It's the coach as well. If you're going to be 5 clean triple lutzes, then you only have to do one run through.
If you do whatever, I put $100 a pound on the boards one time. Yeah. Because sometimes it's that little extra effort that you're not getting, that you need something to inspire them, to show them, I didn't think I could do that, but for $100 I can do it. Right?
I noticed that I used to do that too. Okay, I'm going to give you X amount of money if you land this new jump. It then got to the point that the skater was like, okay, now I need this.
What is X amount of money? I said 100. And
I know. That's why I said X, because I would give him a 20 or 10 or
You're cheap. Although your pound is worth more than ours, so it's okay. Okay, we must have some sort of glitch here. The scores are in, but none of the judges' scores are ready, so there is some sort of delay. That's if we didn't notice. Any other questions in there?
Yes, we do. We have a plethora of questions. Oh, one of the questions was how many cups of coffee per day to fuel so many hours of commentating?
I can only really handle 2, but when I commentate, we might go to 3. But then I'll augment with tea.
Yes, you are quite the tea drinker.
Yes, tea.
I have endeavoured to consume less caffeine on this first event. We'll see whether or not the Junior Grand Prix rigorous schedule wears me down and I consume more than...
You didn't need coffee because you ate so many bushes.
Yeah.
I mean, this man only eats vegetables. Like, he doesn't eat anything else. I'm going, he's got shrubs and pine cones and he's got branches and, weeds, and he has all that stuff in his
plant-powered, that's me.
Yeah, exactly. But he's one healthy guy, that's for sure.
Now then. Oh gosh, that leads so perfectly into another question from @hive_of_B. What's the best food you've ever had at a skating rink?
Yeah, kind of embarrassed to answer that
question. Go. No, I want to know.
There's a thing in Quebec called poutine. Poutine is a mixture of French fries with cheese curds and gravy, hot gravy, which is all melted together. Now, there is bad poutine and there's excellent poutine. And you have to have the chips done a certain way, a little bit crispy,
I would imagine.
a little bit brown, a little bit crispy, and thin ones, not big fat thin. You don't want the big thick ones. You want nice thin ones in there. And then you pour the curds and you put the gravy and it all melts together. Now, it is, many years ago I would eat, I could hardly wait to have one. Now my brain goes, don't eat that. Do not eat that, right? But at a rink, it's good.
I would actually say in Gdansk at the Junior Grand Prix over the last couple of years, they've had very nice apple cake.
Yes, but they don't make that at the rink. It's not like a rink food.
We're here at the team in the room, and Yui, who is quite a wondrous addition to the international skating union team, sounds quite excited at the prospect of the apple cake at Gdansk. So we should just let it be known to those that are organising in Gdansk, make sure there's cake, the apple cake from the last couple of years.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I don't think they bake it there.
No, not in the ring necessarily. Rico.on.off.ice. What is the hardest spin you have ever done?
What, in a car or Well, in my era, you really didn't have to. I mean, people criticize the new system because, well, the spins are all the same. Well, they were all the same in the old system as well.
It's camel sit.
Camel, you just do camel, and then camel sit, and you do flying camel, 2 revolutions, get out.
Go.
You know, but this is much more difficult physically to achieve. And the skaters actually do a really good job of it. So the most difficult spin, probably the crossfoot for me. Because if you don't have a lot of flexibility in the feet or in the hips, I don't. It's really hard to get, but when you get a good one, the blades just are smooth.
Yeah.
If you don't, you just take a hold.
Crash and burn.
Sherbrooke score finally 49.70 for Kirills, and that puts him currently in 12th place. Long wait for that score.